Hey guys, welcome back into Legacy. So I'm gonna do this quick video, try to make it under 10 minutes, and I'm gonna talk about what my current project is on the back end, and talk about what I've been doing with my RPG collection, and yeah, so everyone has an idea of what you can do if you're really uh, wanting to know what you have, what you don't have, that kind of stuff, and keep track of it. So I've actually been cataloging my RPG books. I'm up to 178 of them cataloged so far, and I'm not done with my bedroom yet. My bedroom has quite a few books in catalog still. Um, and then I still have my office, and I have my roommate has a bunch of my books in his room as well. Um, that being said, guys, cataloging your books can be a really good tool um, to know what you have in your collection, um, but it also is a good way to track uh, collections that you may need to know what you're missing or anything like that. And cataloging is a really fun way to kind of spend time if you don't have any other projects that you're doing. Some cataloging will be difficult, some won't. Some books will not come up in ISBN searches and stuff like that. I've run into it. One of the big issues I've run into is my LGS tends, and a lot of people I noticed have tended, my LGS is really bad about it. They'll put their stickers over the ISBN. That is a pain in the butt. That is extra work that you really would rather not be doing, I promise. Um, the program that I am currently using is called ISB. Uh, it is called My ISB or My Book Inventory. It's from Leaf Hacks. It's 1.4.0 plus 254. Um, those are really it's a really good little program, uh, and they actually do a good job of cataloging. If you get your catalog, and it can export as a CSV, you can actually look at your stuff in a CSV file once you're done with it. CSVs are open typically with Excel programs. If you're ever curious, they typically open with Excel, or you can get a CSV viewer, document whole viewer, CSV whole or something like that to look at them. Um, it does a good job mostly of tracking images. Not every book has an image, but if you're like me, you're not going for the images, you're going for the names and the titles and all that kind of fun stuff. Um, so, like I said, 168 books so far in my collection. Some good things that you can get out of it, and I'm gonna give you a couple of things that are kind of a pain in the butt about doing the cataloging, and then I'm gonna be done this video. Like I said, I'm hopefully I'm gonna give you three good things about cataloging your collection, and three kind of negatives, and we'll be done. Okay, so the three good things that are about cataloging: one, you are positive of what you have in your physical collection. Knowing what's in your physical collection, being able to find it, being able to reference it quickly, being able to know that you have it and putting it into a database helps you keep track of your physical collection a lot easier, especially if your collection is kind of like mine and it's kind of spread out across your house. It'd be nice. I would love to have a full library in my bedroom where I could just keep everything in one place, but I don't have that luxury, um, and that's unfortunate for me. But I just don't have the luxury of keeping everything in one place. But that being said, it's fairly simple to get a collection device or collection app like I have on my phone. Do your ISB scanning, and it'll help you know what you have. It'll help you be able to reference what you have, and you'll be able to get it all put together pretty quickly. Um, that being said, all things being equal, the second thing about it, not only does it help it make it easier to know what you've got, it also helps other people if they want to know if you have a book, if they want to know if they can borrow a certain book or whatever, you can quickly reference if you don't remember if you have that book. Maybe you have a lot of books. Maybe you don't remember if you bought a book for an old game, whatever. You can reference your database and say, "Oh yeah, I've got the book," and you can lend it to people. And some of these things will allow you to know if you've lent them to people, all those kind of things. It really helps you on that end as well, and it prevents you from not remembering if you have something, especially if it's something you haven't used in a long time, you haven't looked at that collection in a while, whatever. In fact, the one I have allows you to create groups where you can actually put books into different collections. So, like, you can actually go as far as doing that when you're doing it. Third thing that's really good about collating and actually cataloging, outside of the fact that it lets you know what you have, lets you know, lets other people know what you have, it also allows you the ability how big your collection. Um, maybe you need to downsize. Maybe there's things that you didn't realize you had that you probably could get rid of, or you may want to get rid of because you haven't used it in a long time, whatever. It'll let you do all of that. It'll let you see it in front of you, and you'll know whether or not there's anything that's necessary to be kept, get rid of, anything like that. Those things will happen. Catalog. Cataloging is a really cool tool. It really is. It's come handy for me over the years. At one point, I had a catalog of all my regular books, um, and it helped me know what I needed to buy because I was missing certain books in the series and stuff like that. So it's a really, really good tool. Uh, the negatives to cataloging. Um, Time, guys. It takes a lot of time to catalog uh, a large collection, especially a collection like what I've got. I'm thinking I'm going to wind up around 500 books, maybe 100 books. Um, that takes time. It's not something that happens in a couple of minutes. I've been at it for about 2 days and I haven't even hit 200 books yet. Um, you have to catalog them. You have to the work of getting them prepared. You have to make sure the ISBNs are there. If they're not, you have to be able to create the entries. All that stuff has to be done. So it is time consuming. It is a lot of work, um, but it's worth the work, I promise. The second thing that kind of the negative of cataloging is sometimes you find out that you have multiple copies of a book. You don't have to log multiple copies. Um, it can be obnoxious when you have multiple copies of multiple games, multiple books, like core rule books or whatever. I don't normally keep multiple copies of books, but I do have some games that have multiple copies of the books I've bought them over the years. Didn't realize it. I've got 2 copies of the Aegon core book because of the way that I bought them. I bought the Aegon core book and then I bought a bundle that had everything in it with the core book. So I got 2 copies of the rule book, but I don't need to catalog it twice. Um, it can be very obnoxious to have to actually keep track of what you've already cataloged sometimes, especially like I said, if it's like my collection is kind of disparate, it's kind of spread out, things get moved around the house, those things happen, um, and very much so. Um, the last negative of it is the idea that on top of the time and the kind of new nuisance of having to make sure you're not cataloging things multiple times is of course the fact that it doesn't always appear useful up front. Um, like I said, it is useful though. It is a useful tool, but a lot of people will say, "Why would you waste 30 hours, 20 hours cataloging books?" Um, because now I will be able to tell you exactly what I have and where. Uh, I'll be able to look into my collection and tell you if I have something. I'll be able to look in my collection and see if I need to buy a book. If I find a book that I don't remember if I own it or not, I can find out really easily. Uh, those things are useful. Those are useful. Um, People do not count on that, but a lot of people find cataloging kind of useless, but it's not. There's a reason that libraries catalog, that bookstores catalog. Um, Catalog because it makes things easier. There's a reason the ISBN system exists. Um, if you've never done cataloging, I really encourage you to catalog. Really encourage you to look at doing cataloging um, somehow. Uh, and especially if you have a smaller collection, it's really good to start early because if you get in a situation where I'm at, like where I'm at, where I have 500-600 books plus box sets plus everything else that I'm gonna have to catalog in my RPG collection, um, it's not going to be a couple of day project for me. This is probably a couple of week project for me. But it will be worth it at the end of the day. I think this will be a project worth doing, and I think that you can make it worth doing for yourself if you really want to know what you've got, really want to take a look at what you have, and really make decisions based on that. Oh well, I have 3 copies of Lamentations. Why do I have 3 copies of Lamentations? I don't know. I bought 3 copies. Well, now you can say, well, I can sell a couple of them, or I can sell one of them, or whatever. You don't have to struggle to figure out what you have all the time. You don't have to memorize what you have. I promise. Um, there are certainly books I know offhand that I have. But there are books that I don't remember if I have, especially like I said for OOP and esoteric games. I don't always remember what I bought, what I have. I do try to keep my collections pretty tight and in pretty good order, but still not always possible to do that. So that being said, guys, that's my take on cataloging. That's my take on what I'm doing. I'd love to hear how you guys keep track of your collections as well. And as always, guys, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, leave behind. Always follow the 3 rules: no ad hominems, no picking fights, no leaving college district. Other than that, hope you guys have fun, and I do hope to see you guys around the gaming table at some point.